Welcome back to the Oregon Statewide Assessment System training modules for the 2020-21 school year. This is the ELA and Mathematics Summative Assessment module, which is required for all district and school test coordinators, as well as ELA and Mathematics test administrators. The topics we will be covering in this module include a brief update on Oregon's statewide summative assessments in both ELA and Mathematics for the 2020-21 school year, scheduling for ELA and Mathematics assessments, appropriate administration of the ELA and Mathematics assessments, key elements and features related to online testing, and available resources. References to specific sections of Oregon's Test Administration Manual and the Oregon Accessibility Manual are included within slides where applicable. These resources are also hyperlinked at the end of the presentation. We encourage you to bookmark these in your browser for future reference, as well as the ODE Student Assessment homepage. Topic 1. ELA and Mathematics Updates. This section provides educators with a brief update on any changes to the ELA and Mathematics assessments for 2020-21. Here are some general updates for the current administration year. First, the performance tasks associated with both the ELA and Mathematics assessments have been removed from the test blueprint for 2020-21. The ODE assessment team will re-evaluate and revisit this decision after the 2020-21 academic year. This decision will provide a substantial reduction in student testing time across all grades and within both content areas. Students will continue to receive an overall composite score. Also, this change removes the 66% instructional day requirement. Second, the Oregon Department of Education has set the testing window for students in 3rd through 8th grades to begin on March 4th, 2021, extending through June 4th, 2021. As in previous years, ODE will provide Grade 12 ELA and Mathematics assessment options for 2020-21. While 12th grade participation is not mandatory for accountability, districts should make the option available for those students who wish to participate for college placement purposes. The State Board waived essential skills requirements for students who were juniors in 2019-20, that is, this year's seniors, so the essential skills requirements do not apply for seniors graduating in 2020-21. 12th grade students who did not get their 11th grade opportunity may choose to participate for college placement purposes. ODE will provide a 10th grade Target Up option. The option to take the 11th grade assessment is only available to grade 10 students who have completed advanced coursework in the respective ELA or Mathematics content area. The decision to target up should be part of a collective discussion made by the student and their family. Participation during the 10th grade enrollment year is not required even if students have successfully completed advanced coursework. If a 10th grade student meets the high school achievement level standard, the score will be banked and will be reported in the student's grade 11 year. However, if the student does not meet the high school achievement level standard, the student must retest in the student's grade 11 year, or the student will be counted as a non-participant in that student's grade 11 year. Finally, the embedded calculator has been updated across all mathematics assessments, including the sample and training tests, interim assessments, and the summative assessment. The updated calculator features a keypad similar to those found on Desmos.com to better align students' testing experience with their experience during instruction. Features of the updated calculator will be explained in more detail later in this module. Topic 2. Scheduling. Attention to scheduling ensures that students have sufficient time to complete both the ELA and Mathematics assessments. District test coordinators are responsible for setting and managing any school-level test windows to ensure that every student is appropriately tested. The overall 2020-21 ELA and Mathematics statewide test window runs from January 5th, 2021 through June 4th, 2021. High school students may start testing at the beginning of the test window. This includes 12th grade students who choose to participate for college course placement purposes, as well as 10th grade students who have completed advanced coursework in ELA and/or mathematics. As a reminder, the high school grade of accountability remains grade 11. As mentioned earlier, the test window for grades 3 through 8 of the ELA and mathematics assessments open March 4th, 2021 and extend through June 4th, 2021. For more information about school-level test windows, please refer to Training Module 1 and Section 5.2 of the Test Administration Manual. For clarification and recommended best practices regarding expiration periods, please refer to Section 6.4 of the Test Administration Manual. School-level test windows help schools manage local testing schedules and resources for all assessments included in the Oregon statewide assessment system. From the time a student begins a test, they have 45 calendar days to complete the assigned assessment. If the student does not complete this assessment within these 45 calendar days, the student's test will expire. One important clarification to note: for the purposes of reporting student participation in accountability calculations, every school is responsible for ensuring that all students enrolled on the first school day in May have been tested, regardless of the school-level test window. Students who enroll after the first school day in May will not be included in the school's accountability calculations. However, the school may choose to test them if they are within their local testing window. Guidance and specific criteria for school-level test windows are addressed in Section 5.2 of the Test Administration Manual. Here are some guidelines and recommended practices for scheduling summative assessments in ELA and mathematics. The ELA and mathematics assessments should be given on separate days. Students should finish one before starting the other. Whichever is administered first, students should not have both the ELA and mathematics assessments open at the same time. Also, neither the ELA nor mathematics assessments are timed. Therefore, students should be allowed to continue working as long as they are making progress. Topic 3: Administration. This section covers administration guidelines which ensure equitable access for all students. Prior to administering the ELA or mathematics summative assessment, test administrators should ensure the following. 1. Students are taking the correct subject area assessment. 2. All embedded designated supports and accommodations are set for students who should have access. 3. Approved non-embedded supports are available and appropriately provided for student use during the assessment. 4. All instructional visuals, stimuli, and posters have been removed from the physical testing environment. And 5. Test administrators should have and read the approved directions before beginning the assessment session. Historical data shows that adult-initiated behaviors are the leading cause of reported test improprieties. Ensuring that all test administrators in your school and district are consistent in these 5 practices will greatly reduce the risk of test improprieties and, at worst, invalidated student assessments. Scratch paper continues to be a non-embedded universal tool available to all students. Please note that scratch paper may not be retained for subsequent test sessions and must be securely shredded at the end of each session. One embedded universal tool available to all students is that tests can be paused at any time. When a student selects the pause button on the screen, that student will get a warning message to verify they wish to pause. If an ELA or mathematics assessment is paused less than 20 minutes, a student may review questions they have already answered. If an ELA or mathematics assessment is paused for 20 minutes or more, a student may not review or change questions they have already answered. If a student's assessment is idle for 20 minutes or more, the system will automatically pause the test. Regardless of how a test has been paused, the student is required to log back into the student interface to resume. When they resume their test, the student will return to the item they were working on or the subsequent item if they had previously submitted their response. Again, if a test has been paused for 20 minutes or more, regardless of how it was paused, the student may not review or change questions they have already answered. Topic 4 is Key Elements. This section covers key elements on the ELA and Mathematics Summative Assessment in order for educators to know the different resources across assessments. The ELA and Mathematics assessments are adaptive, which means the question difficulty adjusts as a student works through the test, providing either easier or more difficult items based on correct and incorrect student responses. Students will interact with different items such as multiple choice, single correct response, multiple select with multiple correct responses, hot text and text highlighting, drag and drop, matching tables, etc. Some items are technology enhanced or enabled to allow students to enter an equation or create a graph. For more information about item type, please refer to the Resources section later in this module. Oregon's summative ELA assessment combines 4 elements, or claims, of English language arts into one test: reading, writing, listening, and research. With the removal of the ELA performance task for the 2020-21 academic year, students will still receive an overall composite score. Students will not receive subscores for each claim. However, schools and districts will still be able to access aggregated system-wide claim and target level data for program evaluation. Listening items included in the ELA assessment will require each student to have headphones during administration. Please check the Oregon Accessibility Manual for specific allowable supports. As in English Language Arts, the Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment for Mathematics is created around a blueprint that combines 4 claims into one test. Claim 1 is Concepts and Procedures, Claim 2 is Problem Solving, Claim 3 is Communicating Reasoning, and Claim 4 is Modeling and Data Analysis. Please note again that the performance task has been removed from the statewide summative assessment in math this year. Students will receive an overall composite score, but as we shared earlier, students will not receive claim level scores. Schools and districts will still have access to claim and target level data for program evaluation and instructional planning. Desmos calculators continue to be an embedded support within some mathematics items in grades 6 through 8 and grade 11. In grade 6, a 4-function calculator is available. In grades 7 and 8, a scientific calculator is available. And in grade 11, a graphing calculator is available. More information about the specific functionality of these calculators can be found on the Desmos website at www.desmos.com/testing/Oregon. As noted earlier, the keypad styling has changed on all embedded calculators to better match the interface currently available on desmos.com, as well as to incorporate additional accessibility features. You can see in the images on the screen that the number pad has been moved closer to the backspace and enter keys, and coloration has been added to the enter key. Common entry tools such as fraction and percent have remained on the right-hand side, while other functions have moved to the left-hand side. As mentioned, all embedded calculators feature updated keypad styling. The scientific and graphing calculators include a keyboard shortcut for finding a cube root. The graphing calculator includes 2 new functions: a 5-number descriptive statistics function, which quickly finds the minimum, first quartile, median, third quartile, and maximum of a list of numbers, and Spearman's rank coefficient, which is a more complex tool used to determine and measure the strength of the correlation between 2 sets of data. None of the calculators include a fraction to decimal conversion, nor does the graphing calculator include the zoom fit function. While these appear in the calculators on the Desmos website, they present construct violations for some assessment items. For more information on these new functions, please see the Desmos support page, and check the Oregon Accessibility Manual for other specific allowable supports. One final key element of Oregon's statewide summative assessments in ELA and mathematics is data access. As a test administrator, you do have access to summative assessment data through the online reporting system in the OSAS portal. The Online Reporting System, or ORS, provides educators access to individual student-level results as well as score reports. The greatest strength of summative assessments is to measure the health of a district's or school's teaching and learning system. Score reports allow educators to view aggregated results at the overall level, claim level, and target level. Target reports show the performance of groups of students on specific assessment targets rather than simply an overall picture. As such, target reports are vital tools for districts and schools to use in better understanding the strengths and opportunities within their system. Both district testing coordinators and test administrators have access to these reports and can use them in their collaboration and professional learning. District testing coordinators may also choose to grant a district report viewer or school report viewer role to additional educators in your district or school so they can access these reports without being able to create test sessions. For more resources on how to use target reports to identify systems level strengths and weaknesses, please visit the posted bit.ly address on this slide. Topic 5. Resources. Our final topic to share is resources to adequately prepare teachers and students for summative testing in ELA and mathematics. There are two different practice tests available through the OSAS portal. First is the training test, which is aligned to grade bands. Training tests include 6 to 9 questions and are designed to allow students to try out embedded tools and supports, as well as to interact with each of the different item types. For ELA training tests, available grade bands are grades 3 through 5, grades 6 through 8, and high school. For math training tests, available grade bands are grades 3 through 5, grades 6, grades 7 and 8, and high school. The second simulation is the sample test, which is aligned to specific grades. Sample tests provide students and educators a look at the grade-specific operational assessment. Sample tests include approximately 30 items that vary in difficulty. Scoring guides for the sample tests are available on the OSAS portal under the Resources tab. Both training and sample tests include all embedded universal tools, designated supports, accommodations, and language tools. To most effectively use training and sample tests, it is helpful to consider their purpose. Use the training test if you want to familiarize students with how to navigate the test, including universal tools and embedded supports. Also, use the training test to help students learn how to interact with each of the different item types. The training test should not be used to look at grade level content or items at the appropriate level of difficulty. To do this, use the sample test. Use the sample test if you want students to see grade level items and practice responding to those items, or you want students to experience items across all claims. Several documents outline the structure of the Oregon statewide assessments for ELA and math. Links to access these resources are provided at the end of the slideshow. Educators should spend time looking at these materials to help inform how they prepare students to be successful on the assessments. Test blueprints indicate the number of items included on Oregon's statewide summative assessments for ELA and math, how the test is scored, and the depth of knowledge intended to be used by students when answering items. Content specifications list all assessment targets within each claim, as well as the ELA or math standards aligned to those targets. Item specifications provide task models and appropriate stems for each item type and are broken out by grade level claim and target. This is an optional point in the required training to pause and discuss the questions provided here or a locally developed set of relevant questions. If you would like to pause, please do so now. This slide contains a list of linked resources that have been referenced throughout this training. First, the OSAS portal links to all components of the assessment system, including training and sample tests. Second, you can get more information on assessment blueprints, test design, academic targets, and the number of items from each claim by visiting the ELA and Math assessment websites. Finally, the Test Administration Manual and Oregon Accessibility Manual provide technical support for districts, schools, and educators. This concludes the required ELA and Mathematics Summative Assessment Training module. Thank you for your time and attention. To contact us, please reach out to Tony Bertrand, ELA and Social Sciences Assessment Specialist, or Andrew Byerly, Mathematics Assessment Specialist, at the email addresses on the screen.